between our 7-2 Panthers and the 7-2 Peters Township Indians. It's the second meeting between these two teams. And now for your starting lineups. First for Peters Township, number 2, a senior, libero Christian Fink. Number 3, sophomore defensive specialist Jordan Ronaldo. Number 6, senior defensive specialist Aaron Ronaldo. Number 11, senior center Sean McNally. 17, junior outside hitter James Bertrand. 21, sophomore outside hitter Joe Fick. And number 22, he's a senior middle hitter Xander Rowell. Peters Township is coached by Chris Kelly, head coach. He's assisted by Joe Scaglione. And now for your 2014 Upper St. Clair Panthers. First, number 24, outside hitter Mitch Boring. Number 16, middle hitter, Jared Brown. Also a senior. Senior, number 19, opposite hitter, John Pearson. Number 14, junior, Brad Poditz, outside hitter. Number 9, junior and setting tonight, Bill Smith. Number 8, junior, libero, Alan Stock. And number 22, a freshman, middle hitter, Nolan Conrich. Upper St. Clair is coached by Josh Ficarelli, head coach, assisted by Mark Killinger and Steve Hope. Tonight's referees are down ref Ed Moeller and Tim Lutton on the stand. Line judges Dimitri Gajanis and Colin Kovacs from Peters Township, Jake Basic, and Ben Spock from Upper St. Clair. Everyone, please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by our own coach, Mark Killinger.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let me know when to start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Upper St. Clair High School for this evening's AAA Section 1 Volleyball Best of 5 match between our Panthers and the Peters Township Indians as we wind down the regular season and head into the Whippeal playoffs. Currently, Peters is second in the section, followed by Upper St. Clair in third. The Panthers tonight are dressed in black and are going from left to right on your screen. So while we have a minute, we'll let you know who's on the court for Upper St. Clair, starting for the Panthers, who will serve first. Bill Smith is in the 1 position. Also starting tonight for Upper St. Clair is Brad Kolditz, outside hitter number 14. Number 16, Jared Brown, middle hitter. Number 19, John Pearson, outside hitter. Number 24, Mitch Boring, also an outside hitter. And number 22, Nolan Condrich. Coming into the game at libero, number 8, Alan Stott. Peters Township on the court. Number 6, Aaron Rinaldo. Oh, my mistake. Actually, it looks like Peters has the ball and will be serving first. And serving for Peters Township in the red looks like number 6, Aaron Rinaldo. There's a discussion between the head coach for Peters Township and the referee, the down ref, so we're really not sure what's going on. Into the game comes outside hitter James Bertrand, and serving first actually is number 21, Joe Fick. Also starting for Peters Township is number 3, defensive specialist Jordan Rinaldo. Number 11, Sean McNally will set. James Bertrand, who just came into the game. And in the middle is Xander Browen. Here's the whistle, and here's the start of Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, game 2 for the season. Peters currently is 7-2, second in Section 1. And Upper St. Clair comes up with the first point of the game. Nice little dink by what looked to be Jared Brown. Nice dig in the back row by Alan Stott, and a hit by Brad Kolditz, and it's good. That's a kill for Brad Kolditz. His first. McNally with the set to James Bertrand, who hits across court. Boring with a nice dig, and back to Brad Kolditz, and it's another good hit, but they recover. Bertrand pushes it to the back court, and it's knocked out by Mitch Boring, so it'll be a side out. Peters Township with the serve, down 2-1. John Pearson with a hit, but it flies behind the back line by quite a bit. Tying the score 2-2. Sean McNally with the serve for Peters Township. Mitch Boring back to Mitch Boring. Mitch Boring to Bill Smith, and back to Mitch Boring with a great kill from behind the 10-foot line. Brad Kolditz with the serve. Soft little serve to middle. Nice little save by Sean McNally. And oh, what a great dig by Alan Stott in the back row. Mitch Boring with a hit. It's blocked out of bounds for a point and a kill for Mitch Boring. It's too early in the game for Mitch. So we welcome the month of May with the second match between these two rivals this year. Peters Township taking the first game 3-1. My name is Mike Mackey, and I'm joined here by Pat DeMarco behind the camera for Cable 7. And incidentally, I'm filling in for the very talented Kevin McGahee, who could not be with us tonight, traveling.
nice save by Brad Kolditz after the block on Mitch Boring's hit. James Bertrand, he hits it long. Another point for St. Clair. Will take a 5-3 lead. Substitution now, number 22, Xander Brow leaves the game in favor of Matt Necky to the back row. Jared Brown will serve. Jared with a soft knuckleball to the back row, and the attempted hit by number 19, Nathan Young, is into the net for another point to St. Clair. Jared Brown with the serve. An overpass by Matt Necky, and Mitch Boring kills it to the front line. Our front line tonight is, in this particular rotation, is Mitch Boring outside, Condrich in the middle, and John Pearson opposite. John Pearson with the kill. Off the hands of their setter, Sean McNally. Side out. 8-3 lead for Upper St. Clair. And that will be a timeout, an early timeout for Peters Township as they settle things down after a few errors. Upper St. Clair right now with the lead, and the leaders for Upper St. Clair in this game are 3 kills by Mitch Boring. Brad Kolditz has 1, and John Pearson 1. As I mentioned, this is the second match between these two teams. Peters Township taking the first 3-1 at their place earlier in the year. And both Peters Township and Upper St. Clair are locked into the playoffs, so their season will continue after next week. Upper St. Clair has 4 games remaining, all next week. Monday at Fox Chapel, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are all home games. So we hope to see some fans out there to get them ready and pumped up for the playoffs. All right, we're back to action. 8-3, Upper St. Clair. Jared Brown with the ball ready to serve. Jared with the serve to the back row. Big hit by their middle hitter, Sean Harrison, off of Nolan Conrich and out of bounds. So Peters Township back on the board with another point, 8-4. Billy Sitt with this middle set. Nolan pushes it over. Back row hit by Brad Kolditz is out. Just a little bit long and wide. 8-5, Upper St. Clair. Their number 2, Mitch Boring. Mitch Boring with the kill. Cross-court kill. Nice play. John Pearson with the jump serve, and a fine serve to the back row. It dies nicely. And unfortunately for Upper St. Clair, Peters Township comes up with the point on a little dink from their outside hitter, Joe Fick. Serving, number 19, Nathan Young. Also a jump serve. And that's going to fly way, way behind the back line. Another point for Upper St. Clair. It's 10-6. That ball almost went out the back door. And Robbie Mackey came into the game for Jared Brown. Joe Fick with the hit, but it's also deep. Mitch Boring back to serve. Soft floater to the back row. Joe Fick for the hit, and Mitch Boring, he saves it, and a tip by Billy Smith, but it's blocked at the front line by Joe Fick, but they're saying a roof. They're saying a front line attack, also known as a roof by Joe. Joe disagrees. All right, Mitch with another serve. Back row, little dink by their setter. Mitch is able to dig that, and a nice save by Brad Kolditz to keep it alive over to Peters Township. Robbie Mackey with the dig, nice set, and a block on Brad Kolditz's hit. Billy Smith, another chance for Brad, and he buries it in the back row. That's his second kill, 13-6, Panthers. Mitch Boring continues. Floater to the back row. Nice dig on the Joe Fick hit. And then Mitch will just send it, push it to the back row. Little dink, a pancake, nice pancake. And a recovery by Alan Stott, but a nice block on behalf of Peters Township. They'll get the point. And there'll be a substitution for Peters Township. Out goes Matt Necky, and in number 22, Xander Brow, their middle hitter. Senior middle hitter. Number 6, Aaron Ranallo with the serve. An attack by Brad Kolditz. It's returned. Middle hitter out. That ball is out. And that's a point to Upper St. Clair. Their head coach doesn't agree. However, that looked like it hit the tape and ricocheted out of bounds. I believe that was the right call. So we'll go to the action, and Nolan Condrich with the serve. Nice block by Billy Smith and Jared Brown. Little dink. Brad Kolditz picks it up. Billy sets Mitch Borney the back row, and it's a deep hit, but they'll return it. Joe Fick and Mitch Boring again. Brad pulled up, but fortunate for us, it was a net violation from Peters Township. Brad pulled up just a little bit and sent that ball out of bounds, but we'll keep the ball and the point. Joe Fick from the opposite side with the hit, but it's returned. Nice little dink by Billy Smith, and we get the point. Panthers the point. And a 16-7 lead here in game 1 of the first set. That's a big hit. Big hit by number 22, Xander Brow. James Bertrand back in the game, replacing the libero Christian Fink. And back to serve for Peters Township, Joe Fick. Joe with the jump serve, but into the net. Another point for St. Clair. And a substitution. John Pearson back in the game for Robbie Mackey. That was my mistake. Actually, Robbie Mackey came in for John Pearson, not Jared Brown. Jared Brown is substituting with the libero in the red jersey, Alan Stott. And another kill. That looked like a kill. I unfortunately missed it. We're going to give that credit to Brad Kolditz. But when we watch the tape, we'll know for sure. So another timeout called by Peters Township, down by 10. And nice early lead for the Panthers, but as you know in volleyball, no lead is safe. So far the kill leaders, there haven't been any aces, but the kill leaders are Mitch Boring with 4, Brad Kolditz with his latest with 3, and John Pearson with 1. All right, we're back to the action. Billy Smith will take the ball back behind the end line, back behind the end line for the serve. Brad Kolditz and Jared Brown on the senior Browell. 19-8, Panthers. Billy Smith with the serve. Nice diving dig by number 6. Billy Smith with a back set, but John Pearson kept it on our side of the court for 4 hits. Point will go to the Indians, and back to serve. Sean McNally with a substitution, number 3, Jordan Ronaldo out in favor of number 19, Nathan Young. McNally with the serve. A 1-footer. Nice save by Peters Township. So we'll set back up again. Brad Kolditz with the kill, but they recovered off the net. Nice play by Peters Township to recover that ball off the net. Oh, Mitch attacks, but it's way deep. 19-10 Panthers. McNally with just a floater to the middle. Nice little dig by Alan Stott. Peters Township will set up again, and the hit and the kill by number 19, Nathan Young. Boy, he kept that ball just inside the sideline. So St. Clair will set up in their receive defense. Back to Alan Stott. Set by Billy, and a hit by John Pearson, and a kill, his second. Nice play. Bump, set, spike. Brad Kolditz to serve. Floater to the back row. Set by Sean McNally, and a hit by Brown. Nice dig by Billy Smith. He's out of the play, but a set to Mitch Boring, and in. A kill deep to the back row. That's his 5th. That just made it inside the end line. Brad Kolditz with another serve. Peters Township in defense. Peters Township is doing a nice job of getting that ball to the front line from their back receive. Nice block by Mitch Boring, but that's dug by their setter, Sean McNally, and a hit by James Bertrand, which is blocked. As we set up, John Pearson just outside. That makes it 21-11, and a substitution, number 18, Sean Harrison back in the game for number 6, Aaron Ronaldo. And back to serve is their senior, Xander Brow. Modified jump serve to Mitch Boring. Mitch over to Billy, back to Mitch, and he kills it, attacks it, and yes, he gets the kill. They weren't able to return that. Nice attack. And it's Nolan Conridge back in the game to go to the front line for the libero, Alan Stott. And Jared Brown back to serve. Nice block by Mitch Boring. Nice dig by Mitch Boring. That'll be a free ball. Oh, we got a break there. We got a free ball from behind the 10-foot line by Jared Brown that just snuck inside their back and front row, right in the middle. So Jared with another serve with a 23-12 lead. James Bertrand will save it and put it back to the middle of the court. We'll set it up, and it'll be another hit, but a block by number 18, Sean Harrison. James Bertrand with just a little push in the middle of the court. And Jared Brown returns the favor, but a little deeper. James Bertrand with a big hit. But that ball looked like it was outside the line, but it's a net violation. And on that, Alan Stott will be back in the game as libero to replace Jared Brown. Back to serve is Peters libero, Christian Finn. Modified jump serve to the middle of the court. Billy Smith will set it to John Pearson, but he'll put it in the net. That's another point for Peters Township. Nope. Actually, that point goes to Upper St. Clair for a net violation. My mistake. Jump serve by John Pearson, and it goes to the back row. Big middle hit. Big middle hit by number 18 for Peters, Sean Harrison. They'll get the point. 10-point lead for St. Clair, 24-14 in this first set. Back to serve for Peters is number 19, Nathan Young. Jump serve goes into the net and finds its way over. That ball looked like it hit the middle of the net, crawled up, and snuck right over the tape into our side of the court and down. That's an ace for number 19. Another jump serve. That one goes clear over the net. And a back row attack by Brad Kolditz. It's returned. And a free ball. And a free ball goes into the net. And that's the game. Upper St. Clair, game number 1. Set number 1 out of 5. 24-14. And we'll be right to start the second. We're just about to start the second game of the 5-game match between Peters Township and St. Clair. St. Clair wearing black, now going right to left as they switch sides, as volleyball teams will do in between sets, customarily. And this, incidentally, is a best-of-5 match. Team with team with 3 wins, of course, will win the match. The first 4 games are 25. Or to 25, win by 2, and the last game, if necessary, the 5th game is 15, winner by 2. So, all right, back to action. Upper St. Clair will serve first, as they also rotate serves from game to game, match to match, or set to set. And Alan Stott comes in as the libero for middle hitter, Nolan Conrich. So we're underway, game 2. Brow with the hit, and it is too hot to handle for Billy Smith. So that would be a kill and the first point for Peters Township, 1-0. Joe Fick with the serve for Peters Township. And he'll set up for a jump serve. Back to Kolditz. Billy Smith to Mitch Boring from behind the 10-foot line with a back row attack and a kill. And he has absolutely mastered that this year. Now, incidentally, hitters that are playing in the back row are only allowed to attack from behind the 10-foot line. And if they do attack a ball and get their hands above the net in front of the 10-foot line, it's a violation and a point for the other team. 2-1, Peters Township as Sean McNally serves. The southpaw puts it to the back row. Billy Smith to a strong side hit. It's blocked, but recovered by St. Clair. Brad Kolditz pushes it back over. Peters sets up. The hit, it's going to be deep. And we're all tied at 2. Fun to see some of the Bethel Park kids walking in here to see how this match ends up. Jared Brown with the serve. Jared in for libero Alan Stott. The hit by Brown, and that ball is in. That just made it inside the sideline for a kill for number 22, Xander Brown. Alan Stott back in the game. Freely substituting with Jared Brown and the other middle hitter, Nolan Conrich. That's a block by James Bertrand on John Pearson's attack. And Peters doubles St. Clair early, 4-2. 22 Brown with the serve. Nice dig by and save by Billy Smith, and a kill by Brad Kolditz from behind the 10-foot line. Brad Kolditz with a big kill from behind the 10-foot line. We have a substitution for Peters Township, and is number 12, Matt Necky. Out is the middle hitter, 22, Xander Browell. John Pearson with the jump serve. And it's good. It goes to the back row. Had enough on it. And that is long. Number 19, Nathan Young, goes long. And the point to St. Clair, and we have a tie ball game again. John Pearson again with the jump serve. John gets just enough on it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is an ace, our first of the game. That ball found the back left-hand corner where nobody was standing. Pearson again with the jump serve, and he'll let that one drop. Didn't like the feel of that, so he'll be allowed to do that one more time. And that one's going to go and be returned by libero number 2, and that was just a mistimed play to the middle hitter on a short little one-footer from the setter. Point to St. Clair, and they'll take a 6-4 lead. Incidentally, on serves, the server can let the ball drop one time. They can't catch it. They have to let it drop, and they can only do that one time. They have to hit the second, kind of like tennis. And that's a kill. That's an overpass and a kill by James Bertrand, Peters Township. And on that, we have substitution for St. Clair. Robbie Mackey is in for John Pearson, and he'll take the back row position for John. Libero number 2, Christian Fink on the serve. A little dink by Billy Smith, but it's returned by Matt Necky. Joe Fick will push it over. Billy Smith to the middle hitter, Nolan Condrich, and he gets it on a tip by their middle hitter. And a hit, so that's a kill for Nolan Condrich. His first. Mitch Boring will serve for St. Clair. Floater way to the back, but Matt Necky's able to jump up and get that. A little dink by Billy Smith. Returned, but that's going to be a net violation by Peters Township. Billy Smith, kind of an exchange of dinks by their front row guys. Billy Smith and looked like Sean McNally. Mitch Boring will serve again with an 8-5 lead. That's going to be pushed over by the libero number 2, Christian Fink. Billy Smith with the set to Brad Kolditz, and the kill off the frontline hitters, number 18, Sean Harrison, and 19, Nathan Young. Big hit. That's his 5th. And that's a timeout, Peters Township. That's their first of 2 for this particular game. Each team is allotted 2 timeouts per set. And Peters Township elects to take theirs early, down 9-5. So far, the statistics are Mitch Boring with 7 kills, and hopefully I'm accurate in these. Brad Kolditz with 5. John Pearson with a couple, and Nolan Condrich with his first a couple of plays ago. St. Clair. So St. Clair takes the court again. Mitch Boring will take the ball. Peters Township sets on serve receive, and here we go again. The whistle to let Mitch know he's ready to serve. That was a 1 foot set, but into the net, and 4 hits for Peters Township. Another error, giving the Panthers a 10-5 lead. Set to the outside, Joe Fick. It's tipped and in. So that's a kill for Joe Fick. And their 6th point. Now down 10-6. Nathan Young with the set, or with the serve that's returned into the ceiling and straight into the floor. Nolan Condrich was just a little bit late on trying to pancake that. Nice try. 10-7, Peters Township. Young with the jump serve, and that's going to fly out of the back, just out beyond the back line. And on that, Young will be replaced by number 3, Jordan Ronaldo. And back to serve is the freshman Condrich. A floater to the back row and a pushback by the setter, Sean McNally. Brad Kolditz goes up with his left and tries to dink it, and that ball does not make it over the net as Joe Fick tried to push it back to where none of the St. Clair players were, but it stays on this side, giving St. Clair another point, 12-7. Condrich with the serve. McNally with a 1-foot set, but that goes into the net, and another 4-hit by Peters Township. Condrich, the up-and-coming freshman middle hitter who's done a great job this year as a young player. Mitch Boring with the attack from the 10-foot line, and that ball is going to be returned, but out of bounds on the St. Clair side, giving St. Clair a 14-7 lead. Another kill for Mitch Boring. Coming into the game is number 24, Ben Doyle, who seems to be a crowd favorite. And out is Sean Harrison. Condrich with the serve. Joe Fick up for the attack, and he does. That is just off Mitch Boring's outreached body, stretched out body. Nice effort by Mitch, but not enough. 14-8 Panthers. Into the game is Alan Stott, out, middle hitter. Nolan Condrich. And the serve is number 6, Ronaldo. It's returned and set and hit, and a big kill, big hit by Brad Kolditz, but it's returned. It wasn't killed. Jared Brown, that was a kill. That was off their middle hitter, number 22, Xander Bow. In John Pearson, out Robbie Mackey. And Jared Brown with a kill. Back to serve is Billy Smith. Billy takes it to the back line. That's pushed up to the setter, across court, and killed by number 22. Boy, that looked like a double hit, but not called. That ball was pushed all the way across court by Sean McNally and killed by number 22, Brow. There seems to be some type of discussion with the referee and the players. I'm not sure exactly what he's saying, but Joe Fick with the jump serve. And that's going to be deep. That's going to be way deep. And another point to St. Clair. It's 16-9, Upper St. Clair. Seemed to have something to do with violating the center court line. Brad Kolditz with a modified jump. Sean McNally with a 1-foot set, and that is dug and returned by Billy Smith, but that goes across. James Bertrand with the attack, but it goes out of bounds across court and out of bounds, giving St. Clair a 17-9 lead. Back to serve, Brad Kolditz again. Back. And another set to James Bertrand, which is tipped. It gets back to Alan Stott. Billy Smith on the set. And John Pearson tips it over, and he puts it in just inside. Nope, they're calling it out. Looked like it might have been in. Side out St. Clair. Sean McNally will go back to serve for Peters Township with a down 17-10, and there's a substitution for Peters. Back in is Young, and out is Jordan Ronaldo, which I will assume is the brother of Aaron Ronaldo. Oh, Mitch Boring with a big hit, but that was blocked by their frontline middle hitter, 22 Brow. Little dink by Brown. Bertrand with the attack. He goes cross court, but this time he's able to keep it inside the court. Looked like it was right on the line. Another kill for Bertrand, and it's 17-12 Panthers as Peters Township works their way back, cutting into the lead, cutting into a big lead. back set by Billy Smith, and a nice hit and kill by John Pearson, unable to be retrieved and saved by Peters Township. 18-12, St. Clair. Jared Brown back to serve. Alan Stott out of the game. That's tipped by Condrich and kept in the game. Billy Smith with the serve, the back set, and that one's blocked. Brad Colditz from behind the 10-foot line, just a little easy kill. And then 22, though, with the play to the front line for Peters Township, they're able to kill that ball right inside the 10-foot line, cutting the lead to 5, 18-13. St. Clair. Brow back to serve. Stott with the dig. Mitch Boring helps. And back is Brad Colditz, but he hits that one from pretty deep into the net, making it 18-14. Brown with the serve. Stott to Smith, and that is out. That's an attack by Mitch Boring that goes out of bounds. The lead now is down to 3, 18-15. Brow to serve again. Alan Stott with up to the front line. Billy Smith's able to, Billy Smith is able to get that. However, they're going to call that an attack. They're going to call that a front road attack and a roof by Bill Smith. That ball did cross the tape, and the referees called that an attack, a front row attack, which is also known as a roof. So there'll be a timeout, first taken by Upper St. Clair, as they'll try and regroup as the lead has been cut to 2 points, 18-16. You might notice that there's some free exchanges of players in the game. When the red jersey comes in, Alan Stott, that's a libero. He doesn't have to check in with the down ref. He can just freely come in and exchange, usually with a middle hitter. All right, so we're back to action. The whistle blows, and Brower with the serve. Smith with the set to the middle, and Condrich gets the kill. Didn't have a lot on it, but it was enough. Substitution for Peters Township, Matt Necky. In for Brower. John Pearson will take the ball and set up for a jump serve. 19-16, Panthers. And it dies in the back row. Nice serve by John. And that's tipped and in. That tip and stays in by Young for Peters Township, so they'll get the ball back. And on the St. Clair side, Robbie Mackey comes in and replaces John Pearson. And back to serve for Peters Township is their libero, Fink. Modified jump serve, Alan Stott. Billy Smith settles under it, and Mitch Boring with a nice hit, but it's returned. Nice save by Sean McNally off the net. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a kill. That was too hot for Sean McNally to handle, and that is Mitch's 9th kill in 2 games. 2017 Panthers as they try and extend their lead. Mitch goes deep. McNally on the run, sets it to Joe Fick, who dinks it, but Brad Colditz is there. Billy Smith cross court to Mitch Boring, and Mitch is able to hit that from behind the 10-foot line, but it's returned and a dink. An exchange of dinks on that one, and St. Clair just was not ready to return Peters Townships, and they'll get the point and the side out, and it's 20-18. Cut the lead down to 2. Young back to serve for Peters Township as St. Clair sets up and receive defense. It'll be a jump serve. That's a good one. Back to Mitch Boring. Brad Colditz on the attack, but that ball is out. Didn't hit anybody. Almost looked like it took on a took on a spin that looked like it could have gone off someone's fingers, but it didn't. And they'll cut the lead to 1, 20-19, as Young will serve again and jump serve. And that ball tips off the net, just off the tape, but it's a great save by Alan Stott and a kill by the young freshman, Nolan Condrich. He buried that ball right around the 10-foot line. Nice play. And a great start to that play by Alan Stott, digging that ball and getting it up to Billy Smith so that he could set Nolan Condrich with a nice short set. Nolan back to serve. A little dink by McNally and a little dink back by Jared Brown. And that's tipped, but returned by St. Clair, and Mitch Boring again. Ball went out. And in is Alan Stott, out the freshman middle hitter Condrich. And back to serve is Aaron Rinaldo. Mitch Boring doesn't miss many of those, folks. He's done a great job this year of burying that ball from behind the 10-foot line. And Rinaldo will let that one drop, but he's got to hit the next one. And he will. Colditz with the attack, and that's tipped, and that's out. And that's a point for St. Clair, taking a 22-20 lead. Back in the game, Pearson, out Mackey. Billy Smith. Brower with the kill. Cutting the lead again to 1, 22-21. Out is libero Fink. Joe Fick will set up to serve. Looks like he's just going to put up a regular floater to the back row. Stott to Smith, settles under it, jump set, and a dink by Colditz. Returned by Peters. Billy Smith again, and to John Pearson, who misses it, but it works. It works. That's his 4th kill. The libero, number 2, was unable to get that ball up in the air, and it travels under the net and another point and a 2-point lead. Brad Colditz with the serve. Bertrand with the kill. A little too hot for Colditz to handle. It goes up into the ceiling and down twice as fast into the floor, and the lead now 1, 23-22. McNally back to serve for the Indians. We're still in game 1, folks. It's not over yet. That ball is blocked and it stays in. Mitch went up for the attack, but it's blocked, stays in, and they tie it 23-23. And by the way, that's game 2 we're still in, not game 1. Mitch Boring will dink it and push it to the back row, but McNally saves it. And it's pushed by Bertrand to the back row. Pearson with the set, and Mitch Boring with the kill. And they will be 1 point away from taking this second game. That's his 10th. 24-23 Panthers as Jarrett Brown surveys the crowd. And Peters takes a timeout. So that's their second in game 2. Peters Township down 24-23. They're going to kind of try and regroup and get back into this game. But right now, Panthers 1 point away from a two-game lead. Not a lot for Coach Fick to say. So team regroups, sets up on in their serve formation. Peters back on the court, and they'll assume the serve receive as Jared Brown gets ready to serve. Tipped. We're able to set it up, And Condrich is able to put it down, but it's saved. Nice play, but that's a carry by Sean McNally, and St. Clair gets the point and the set and goes up 2-0. After losing the first game of the season in Peters Township, St. Clair, after losing 3-1, St. Clair takes a 2-0 lead. So we'll be right back for Game 3 in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned, folks. This should be a good one. Okay, folks, welcome back to Upper St. Clair High School. Peters Township, our guest tonight in a best-of-5 match, section match, AAA Section 1 match. And right now, Upper St. Clair has a 2-0 lead. Now, Upper St. Clair has a 7-3 record in the section, currently sitting in 3rd place. Peters Township, 7-2 in 2nd place, but I'm not sure that a St. Clair win really will have any playoff implications that will determine any seeding. It may go to, if they end up with a tie record, it may end up going to overall record. So we'll just have to wait and see, but we're ready to start. Peters Township has the ball. We'll serve first. That's Rinaldo. And Kolditz takes the first one and kills it. Takes the first set of the 3rd game from Billy Smith. And that's his 7th. And again, I apologize if my numbers are off, but right now he has 7 kills. Billy Smith with the serve. Brower with a big hit, and that is blocked out of bounds by Pearson and Brown. And incidentally, Alan Stott back in the game as libero for middle hitter Nolan Condrich, and Joe Fick will serve, and that will go to Alan Stott. He'll set, and the set goes to Mitch Boring from behind the 10-foot line, but it's returned. And that little dink is returned as well. Billy Smith settles under it. Kolditz, but that ball is tipped and out. Kolditz with his 2nd in a row. 2nd in a row. Stays in thanks to the tip by Peters Township. So Brad will go back to serve with a 2-1 lead. That'll be a free ball that's pushed over by Bertrand. Brown with just a little dink and returned and dunked. Mitch Boring with a big hit and attack, but that's returned by Peters. And Bertrand tries to push the ball, but it just doesn't make it over the tape. Hits the top of the tape and rides across and stays inside the Peters Township court, giving the Panthers a 2.31 lead. Kolditz to the libero. Brower, a hit, blocked, but it's saved. Great save, but a carry. And that is not looked very favorably by Coach Ficcarelli. He is arguing with the referee that that ball was punched and not carried. Folks from up here, it was a little too tough to tell. That play was going away from us. Mitch reached out and was able to get the ball, pop it up in the air for us to return it, but they're calling it a carry. That ball just tips the net, and they stay with it. Mitch Boring with a hit, the attack, but it's tipped and stays in. Bertrand with a hit, that is tipped and stays in. Back set by Billy Smith, but that ball will fly out of bounds across the sideline. PT ties it up 3-3. McNally with the serve, the return by Stott, the attack by Mitch Boring, and it just goes outside. He goes cross court. He tries to, I think he tried to get that just in front of the back row, but he pushed it across court and out of bounds. So Peters takes a 4-3 lead. I believe that's their first lead tonight. Boring will dink that over, not getting the set. Alan Stott tries to pancake it, but a little bit too late on that one. The ball just skims off his hand and under the net. Another point and a 2-point lead for Peters. McNally with the serve, and it just gets over. Brown with the hit, and that's out. Been struggling early on here, trying to keep our attacks in, with the exception of Brad Kolditz. 6-3 Peters Township. And McNally with the serve, and that might, it made it. And that's a kill for Mitch. I was about to say that ball might be a little bit of an overpass, but it wasn't. Billy with a real nice recovery and set so that Mitch could bury that ball for his 11th kill. Brown back to serve. That ball's tipped. The attack is tipped. It's back to Boring. He's in. That ball is tipped and in. Okay, chalk up another one for Mitch Boring. St. Clair cuts the lead to 1-5, serving 6. Jared Brown. Oh, he served that ball just outside the line. Floated that. I think he wanted to try and place it in between the back row and front row and wasn't able to do it. So Peters Township back to a 2-point lead, and back to serve is Browell. Nice set by the outside opposite hitter, John Pearson. But the attack is received, and Bertrand goes back and hits. And that ball is blocked up into the ceiling and back into the floor. Point Peters. Browell serves with an 8-5 lead. And Mitch Boring will, he was able to attack that ball to the back row, but they're able to save it. Nice play by their back defense. Boring will go at it again, this time with success. He buries that ball just in front of the libero Fink, cutting the lead to 2, the Peters Township lead to 2, 8-6. And in for Peters Township is Necky out. Browell back to serve for St. Clair. John Pearson looks like he's going to jump serve this one, and he does. Into the net. Point, inside out, Peters. 9-6 Peters Township. John Pearson will leave the game. Robbie Mackey will come in to play defense in the back row. And the serve is by Fink. Smith with the set and Condrich with the hit, but it's returned. And that's out. That attack is out from the opposite side, Peters Township, and it's out on the near side of Upper St. Clair, side out, and cutting the lead to 9-7, Peters Township. Mitch Boring back to serve. And it goes high and deep and in. That ball just died about a foot inside the back right corner, near corner. And St. Clair cuts the lead to 1. That ball was real close to the net. That ball was returned really close to the net. McNally tried to set that to the outside hitter, but just wasn't able to, and it falls inside Peters, and it's now a tie game. Boring with the serve. McNally with the set, and point, St. Clair. That is a lane violation. That is a center court, center line lane violation. Players are not permitted to travel with both feet over the center line under the net. Otherwise, it's a violation and a point. And this time it's a point for St. Clair. Boring with the serve. Mackey tries to return that in front of Stott, unable to. He stuck an arm out, and that ball ricochets to the back wall. So Peters Township, after giving up a 1-point lead, gets the point. It's a tie game, and number 19 Young is going to jump serve for Peters Township. And that ball will go in the net. St. Clair will take the lead back, 11-10. And on that, Young will leave. And in is Rinaldo, as we've seen a number of times this evening. And back to serve is the freshman Condrich. McNally tries to force it over, and it's returned. Fick with the kill, and he does. Joe Fick with the kill. That ball was off the blocker, Smith and Brown, and out of bounds. And out goes Condrich, in comes libero Stott. Junior Alan Stott, incidentally. And we have a 11-11 tie. Served by Ronaldo. Oh, that's a real nice hit by Kolditz to go across court, and it's called in. That ball's in, and we've got a substitution. John Pearson for Mackey. We're trying to figure out what's going on here. Yep, the ball's in. Point St. Clair. Peters didn't like it. They wanted that ball to be out. They called it. They said it was out, but it's not. We keep the ball, the point. Brower from outside. He gets the point back with a kill to the back line, to the back row, just in front of Boring and Stott. And it's all knotted up again, 12-12, as Joe Fick goes back to serve. Looks like Joe's abandoned that jump serve. And that's a one-footer, middle hit, nice set and hit by an attack by Jared Brown. That's Jared's second. So we're in game 3, folks. It's a 13-12 lead, Upper St. Clair. Served by Kolditz. Back set by Peters, McNally. Mitch Boring up to attack, and that's returned by their libero. And Sean McNally had to travel a long way to get that one, and a little chicken wing there by Jared Brown. He keeps it alive. That one goes into the floor. Actually, that was buried into almost to the floor. Brad Kolditz was able to get a hand on it, and Young back in, Ronaldo out for Peters Township, and serving is McNally. A modified jump serve. That ball goes off the arms of Brad Kolditz and into the ceiling, and Stott and Boring were unable to recover that. So Peters Township takes their lead back 14-13 in game 3. Back set by Smith, and that ball is hit by Pearson and tipped, and they keep it alive. Bertrand with the attack. Oh, nice play by Billy Smith to keep that ball alive off the ceiling. Little dink by Browell, and that one's dug by Kolditz. Kept alive. Oh, John Pearson. John Pearson tried to dink that and just didn't have enough on it. And it stays inside the St. Clair side. 4 hits St. Clair and a 15-13 lead, Peters. Mitch Boring with another kill. Nice set by Billy Smith. Pass, set, and spike. And back in the game is Condrich. Out Stott, and Brown serve. Back set by McNally, and a hit by Browell, and it's good. He kills it. Not much of an effort on that one. And they're up by 2, 16-14. Browell with the serve. Really sit. Smith camps under it, and Mitch Boring with the attack, but it's returned. Bertrand with the hit, but into the net. That one looked like it was a little bit behind him, and he sent it right into the net. Side out, and the lead now, 16-15, as Matt Necky comes in for Peters Township. Out Browell, and back to serve is John Pearson. Pearson with the jump serve, and that's going to fly out, giving Peters Township another 2-point lead, 17-15. Back to serve is the libero. Fink for Peters Township. Back in the game for St. Clair is Robbie Mackey to replace John Pearson. Condrich with a little dink, and that's returned by Peters, and they're able to keep it alive, but is it going to stay in? No, that's 4 hits. That'll be 4 hits. And a point St. Clair, they cut it back to 1. 17-16, Peters Township. Mitch Boring will go back to serve for Panthers. That's a big hit by, they're trying to figure out. From up here it looked out. Not trying to be a homer, folks, but it did. It looked out. The line judge was having a little trouble deciding what to do, and looked like the referee decided for him. So, point Peters. Serve back to Young, jump serve, and that's returned by Boring, set by Smith, and killed by Brad Colditz. That would be his 9th. And Ronaldo and Young switch places again. Ronaldo goes to the back row. Condrich to serve. A little dink and a return by Brad Colditz. The set to the back row to Mitch Boring. And as I mentioned earlier, he's just done a great job with that back row attack from behind the 10-foot line with another kill. That's his 14th. It's tied, 18-18. Condrich, deep serve, but they return it. Joe Fick with the attack, but it's returned by Mitch Boring, and that's an overpass by Billy Smith and a miss by Jared Brown, and Jared will leave the game in favor of the libero, Alan Stott. That ball was pushed just a little bit. My mistake. He's in for Condrich. That ball was pushed just a little. It just looked like it was a little bit of miscommunication or maybe bad timing. But anyway, it results in a point for Peters and a 19-18 lead. Stott returns it to Billy Smith. Colditz, just a little dink. That stays in. It hits the tape and stays in. They're able to return it. And set up a play and a kill that Alan Stott just doesn't have enough to reach for. And they go back to a 2-point lead. Critical point in the game, folks. As we head to 25, it's 20-18, Peters Township. Another back row attack, and good kill for Mitch Boring. Mackey out and Pearson in as they switch again. Pearson to the front row as an outside hitter, opposite hitter, and Mackey to the bench as a defensive specialist, and served by Billy Smith. And Peters is able to set up a play, but they aren't able to finish it as the ball goes into the net and travels across the court, out of bounds, and a tie game, 20-20. This is an exciting game, folks, as we expected it would be. That's almost an overpass, but it's into the net, and McNally can't recover it. And St. Clair, late in the game, takes a 21-20 lead. And Billy Smith goes back to serve again. And a timeout first by Peters Township. This has just turned out to be a really exciting game, folks. An exciting match by these two rivals that are both going to the playoffs. We're not sure how they'll be seeded. And again, not sure if this game has any playoff implications. As we know, they're both going in. We're just not sure where they'll be seated at this point. St. Clair has one more section game left after this against Moon Township at home next Thursday. Peters Township has two more after this. So still remains to be seen how the Section 1 will play out before the playoffs begin. So right now, Mitch Boring with 15 kills, Brad Colditz with 9. Nolan Condrich, with 3, Jared Brown with 2, and John Pearson with 4. And again, folks, I hope I have those numbers right. Peters Township out of their timeout, the first of the game. We'll assume the serve-receive position, and Billy will serve. A little dink, and that one finds a hole. The big hitter, the big outside hitter, Browell, pushes a little dink just inside the 10-foot line where there was no defense to be seen. So back to serve, 21-21 is Joe Fick. Stott with the pass, Billy with the set, and a little dink by Brown, but it doesn't work. No, that's going to be 4 hits because that ball goes into the net. Colditz with the attack, but into the net and back to the St. Clair side. 4 hits and another lead for Peters Township, 22-21. What a game. Nice dink. That one caught Peters. You know, they haven't been caught off guard too much today. They've done a pretty good job of fielding those dinks, but that time John Pearson was able to get it just inside the back row defender. Tie game, 22-22. Bertrand with the hit, and that's in. That stays right in just beyond the 10-foot line on the far side of the court, opposite of Bertrand, and they take another lead. In the game, back in the game, as they have done so many times today. Young for Ronaldo. And Sean McNally with the serve. And a miss hit by our libero Stott that travels to the stands, and now it's a game that Peters is 1 point away from getting back in the match. 24-22. That time he puts it right to Billy. Nice set and a dink by, oh, nice dink. A perfect dink by Mitch. Mitch Boring went up as if he was going to kill it, and he just pushed it to the middle of the court right below the net where nobody from Peters could get it. 24-23. Brown with the serve. And that ball is attacked, but it's returned by Peters Township. Bertrand will go up and try and attack it, and half-hearted. Condrich, that's the game. That ball, Condrich with the attack, but it's blocked. And Peters is back in the match. They take this game 25-23. It was close. It was a great match. Great game by both teams. And Peters stays in the match. As they're now, they've cut the lead 2-1. So we'll be back in a few minutes for Game 4 as both teams regroup, switch sides, take a break, and we'll start in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, folks, to Upper St. Clair High School. Upper St. Clair hosting Peters Township, the Peters Township Indians, and we're in Game 4 of the best-of-5 match, Section 1 AAA match. And Upper St. Clair taking a 2-1 lead into the 4th game. And, we talked a little bit about it before. Both teams headed into the playoffs, and we're not sure how it will play out depending on who wins this game. St. Clair right now with a 7-3 record in 3rd place and guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Peters Township with a 7-2 record, 2nd place, guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. So we're underway. Joe Fick goes after the first attack for Peters. Free ball pushed back over by Mitch Boring. And that ball is attacked by Sean McNally from the front row. I think that one caught us a little off guard, caught St. Clair a little off guard. And that goes to the back row. And a point for Peters, 1-0. Ronaldo will let that ball drop, and he'll try it again, and he'll have to serve this one. That one's dug. That one is dug and kicked and saved by, they're going to call a carry again. They're going to call a lift on Brad Kolditz. That was quite a play. That ball was kicked legally, mind you, by Jared Brown and returned, but Brad Kolditz tried to dig it from the floor and carried it according to the down ref. And because of Coach Ficcarelli's protest, he gets a yellow card and has to sit on the bench. In case you were wondering what that little card was coming out of the pocket of the up ref, Mr. Lutton. That's a little push with a left hand by Jared Brown and a block off the hit from Browell. Another hit by Browell, and that's a nice save by Billy Smith. Outside to Joe Fick, and that's a 4-hit. That was off the tape and back to Peters Township. That was not touched by Upper St. Clair. Came back in to the near side of Peters Township. So it's 2-1 Peters. Brow with the hit and a great save by Sean McNally on the block that came across into the Peters Township side, and Mitch Boring with a big hit, but it's blocked out of bounds. So another kill for Mitch. Nice defensive play, though, by Peters Township to keep that ball alive. Kolditz with the serve, and that's an overpass. Kolditz takes it. John Pearson with the cross-court set. McNally with the cross-court set and the hit, and that ball is going to go into the net, but back into St. Clair, and it's legal. They're able to get it back. and they just got caught out of position on that little dink. The ball finds the floor, and Peters takes the 3-2 lead. Joe Fick with the jump set. Nice return, overpass by Stott, but it's returned. Mitch Boring with the hit and the kill. Nice attack by Mitch. A nice defensive play by the back row defensive specialist and libero Alan Stott to keep that ball in play too. That was a pretty wicked serve by Fick. So he's out. Brown into serve. 3-3. That's going to fly on the one middle set and attack by Brow. That flies deep and off to the side, and St. Clair will take a 4-3 lead. Brown to serve. McNally with the set to Bertrand, and he pushes it over on what looked like an overset, and Bertrand had to reach way back out of bounds and grab that ball, and he was able to push it over, and St. Clair just wasn't able to get to it. They tied up 4-4. And we have a change. We have Ronaldo in for Peters, and out is. And that's another kill by Mitch Boring, his 18th. John Pearson will assume the position as server, and it looks like he's going to jump serve with a 5-4 lead. And it's successful. Nice return by Kolditz. Bertrand with the attack, but the block by Condrich and Smith, but that looked like it was all Condrich. That ball was buried right back inside the Peters Township side of the court, inside the 10-foot line. And for some reason, Coach Ficcarelli is having a discussion with the down ref. Can't tell what he's saying. Not sure what he's saying, but Coach Ficcarelli's obviously going to have to be careful because he has a yellow card. The down ref is going to approach the up ref for a discussion. We're not really sure what this is about. I couldn't hear what Coach Ficcarelli was saying from across the court, and Coach Ficcarelli has to be careful because since he has a yellow card, he has to sit the rest of the game. So while we're in a little bit of a delay and a discussion by the referees, we don't have instant replay here, folks, so they're not checking the cameras for an instant replay. The down ref goes back and doesn't say anything to Coach Ficcarelli, so whatever it was evidently inconsequential. So back to the game, whistle blows, and jump serve by Pearson. Overpass and another attempted kill by Mitch Boring, but he misses it. It goes out of bounds. On the Peters side, out is Ronaldo, in is Harrison, and on the St. Clair side, Mackey's in for Pearson. And Brow will take the ball and serve for Peters Township. St. Clair assumes the serve-receive defense. Mitch Boring will pass it back, and it's a free ball back to Peters Township, and they'll set up for a play. Cross pass by McNally, but just a push by Bertrand. And Mitch Boring set up, he hits it, it's blocked and tipped, and the ball's played back in by Young. And that's pushed just enough to fall inside the feet of number 22, Brow, giving St. Clair another 2-point lead, 7-5. Back in the game, Necky to play defensive specialist in the back row, and out is Brow. Mitch Boring to serve with a 7-5 lead. And return by Mackey, set by Smith, and attacked. Oh, and returned. Attacked by Boring, but returned. And that ball was number 18, Harrison, tried to turn and push that ball over. It was kind of a half spike or half attack, and it stays inside the Peters Township side. And another point, giving another point to the Panthers, giving them a 3.85 lead in Game 4 of the best-of-5 match. St. Clair leading 2-1. Smith camps under it and tips it, and that ball will find the floor. He just pushed that over, and it finds the floor just across the 10-foot line in the middle of the court. The libero was just a little bit late, couldn't push it up, couldn't pancake it up, and that gives St. Clair a 9-5 lead. Boring with the serve. Cross-court set and a kill. A kill by number 19, Young. Libero serving for Peters. Billy Smith had to run to get that one, and the 10-foot attack goes into the net. 9-7, St. Clair. Mitch is usually money on those, but that one went into the net. Fink to serve again for Peters, down by 2, 9-7. Condrich with just a little bit of an overhit. St. Clair is saying that that ball was tipped, but evidently not. The referees, if it was, the referees didn't see it. So Peters pulls to within 1, 9-8. And that serve goes into the net. That's a break for St. Clair. So out of the game is Stott. Back into the game, senior Jared Brown. And with the ball, Condrich to serve. And that is an overpass and out by an overset and out by Peters Township, giving St. Clair an 11-8. McNally tried to backset that to his opposite side hitter, but it just travels outside the pole. Attack by Fick, but that ball is blocked by Brown and out of bounds to the near side, from the far side to the near side of the court. And a 4-point lead for Upper St. Clair, 12-8. And that will prompt the Peters Township coach, Peters Township head coach Chris Kelly, to take a timeout, his first of 2 for this game. So St. Clair in game number 4 of the best-of-5 match, and a 2-1 lead. Leads in this game 12-8. And as it stands, Boring with 18 kills, Kolditz with 14, Condrich has 3 kills, Brown has 2, and Pearson with 4. And the only ace of the game is John Pearson's jump serve that found the back of the court. So the buzzer sounds with just under 10 seconds left in the timeout, and they'll soon play. So we'll resume play here as Peters Township takes the serve-receive defense, and Condrich will serve. And that ball was just tipped by Necky. In fact, he scraped that right across the floor, and it was a nice save. Nice save by Necky and McNally to keep that ball in play. And St. Clair just couldn't play it when they got it back. They got an easy ball, but they just couldn't make the play from Smith to Brown to put that ball away. So side out, point to Peters, and jump serve by Young. Kolditz with the hit and the save, and keep it alive so that they could kill for their 13th point. Billy Smith with the serve. McNally has to run to the 10-foot line to set that. Push by Fick. Cross-court set by Pearson, and a push by Kolditz. And again, successful with the surprise attack by the setter, Sean McNally. And he gets it to that same back corner, just outside the outstretched arms of Alan Stott. So 13-10, side out. Nice dig on the serve by Stott. Kolditz with the hit and the kill. Almost looked like he had to reach way outside to get that, and it was tipped off the front line of Peters Township to give the the Panthers their 14th point and 4-point lead. Colditz back to serve. Ooh, that just made it over. Scraped the tape. Another dink by Peters Township reaches the floor as they stay in the game. Close the lead. They close the Panthers' lead to 3. Joe Fick with the jump serve. Billy Smith has to travel a long way to get that one, and Mitch Boring pushes it. Kind of almost like a miss hit there in the middle by Peters. And Mitch Boring again will go, and he will get the kill. The ball was tipped by Peters Township and finds the floor in the back court, giving St. Clair a 15-11 lead. Jared Brown to serve. That passes to the net and off the net, and a nice play by Sean McNally to keep that ball in play. And that ball is killed by Condrich, and just not enough. Too close to the net was McNally. He just couldn't get his arms out to get that ball and point for St. Clair. 16-11. Bertrand attempts to attack, but that one is blocked by Condrich and Pearson. 17-11 Panthers. And we have a substitution for Peters, number 17, Bertrand, out, and replacing him is number 7 for the first time today, Lucas Burkhardt, a junior outside hitter for Peters Township. The senior Brown with the ball and the serve. McNally with a short and perfect set to Brow. Boy, when that's set up well, that works really well for them. And Brow's able to put that ball away with authority, cutting the lead to 5, 17-12, Upper St. Clair. Game 4 of the 5-game set. 2-1 lead for St. Clair, and that ball is put away by Pearson. Nice back set by Billy Smith, and a kill by John Pearson. The senior opposite hitter, John Pearson. John Pearson will serve, but his jump serve ends up in the net, and he'll be replaced now by Robbie Mackey. Mackey going to the back line to play defense, and taking the ball for Peters Township is Brow with a down by 5, 18-13. Billy Smith has to run back to the back row to get that, and Colditz with a nice hit, but it's returned by Brow. The middle hitter tries to push it across, and he lures Upper St. Clair off sides, as it were, into the net, and they get the point. So we have a net violation on St. Clair and a point for Peters. 18-14, St. Clair. Brown with the serve. Little looper over to Stott, Smith, and Boring. It's as easy as that, folks. Bump, set, and a big spike by Mitch Boring. His 20th kill of the day. And a 19-14 lead for Upper St. Clair in Game 4. Boring with the serve. And that's a little bit of an overpass by, and a little chicken wing. You know, nice save. Nice save by Peters Township, but a great kill. Great reaction and kill by, I believe that was Brad Colditz at the front line. And Peters Township will take their second time out. That was a great play. Peters Township with a real nice defensive play to keep that ball alive. A couple of hits on their side and a little chicken wing by Sean McNally that pushes it over the net after an overpass to St. Clair that was able to push it back. But on that little series, St. Clair is able to bury it and reach the 20 mark late in the game in Game 4. Critical point in this game with a 6-point lead. So both teams will come back to the court. And St. Clair with the serve. Peters Township will assume the defensive serve-receive position. And Mitch Boring gets the signal to go ahead and serve. Mitch pushes it. Necky actually passes it back, and it's a free ball. Peters Township. Boring to Smith, and he'll tip it. And that one's pushed with his arms by McNally. And then Kolditz kills it. Kolditz with the kill. Almost a mistake by the referee because Kolditz was able to keep that ball inside the Peters Township. So that's another kill for Brad Kolditz. That's his 18th. Peters Township substitution, the whistle, and Mitch Boring to serve. Deep to the back row, but Browell's able to get it up to McNally, and that ball's going to be deep. And that's going to be another point for St. Clair, 22-14. Boring to serve. McNally over to Brown. I'm sorry, that's... And the back row attack again legal attack by Mitch Boring. It's returned. Free ball goes over to Boring. Smith to Condrich, and Condrich will put it away with a real nice kill to the back row that nobody from Peters Township could even come close to. The freshman with a great kill. That boy has come a long way this year. 23-14, Upper St. Clair. That's a deep set across court, and the ball was tipped. Mackey wasn't able to get there. The ball is a side out. The play is a side out, and the ball goes back to Peters Township. 23-15, St. Clair. Fink to serve. Stott digs it over to Peters. And that ball is blocked, and it stays in. That ball is blocked by Condrich to give St. Clair their 24th point. Libero Stott out of the game, and is Brown to go up to the front row, middle hit, and Condrich will serve. And it's going to be a free ball by Boring. Cross set to Joe Fick. It goes deep into the back line. Smith will get it, the pass. And Kolditz with the kill. That ball is tipped and killed in game, set, and match. 25-15 in the fourth game to give St. Clair the 3-1 win to even the series, the season series, winning at home after losing at Peters Township. They win 3-1 in a great game, and very few errors, a lot of great plays, hit the ball well, good passing, great game by Upper St. Clair to take this one away from Peters Township and take a 8-3 record into their last section game, which will be next Thursday against Moon. Peters Township with 2 games left. They have Cannon Mac and Moon left in the section, and then we'll go into the playoffs. So final statistics for kills: Mitch Boring with 20, Brad Kolditz with 14, Nolan Condrich with 5, John Pearson 5, and Jared Brown has 3. 1 ace, and that was John Pearson's jump serve. So another great match by Upper St. Clair. What a game. What a match. The fans are psyched. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll welcome Kevin McGahey back next week to do the games. We have Monday at Fox Chapel, Tuesday home Shaler, Wednesday Deer Lakes, which is our senior recognition night, and our final game in the regular season is against Moon. It's a section game next Thursday night here at Upper St. Clair High School. Once again, Upper St. Clair takes Peters Township 3-1. Thanks for joining us. It was a great night. See you next time. Mike Mackey and Pat DeMarco signing off. See you next time.